All right, guys. That's it from the news perspective for me here today. But Tyler, one thing I was interested in, because I didn't get to attend Trade Masters last night, is you won. You brought home the crown. Maybe you could flash us through the winning picks you had last night for the show and kind of talk about them.
Yeah. So in preparation for those, usually it was actually pretty easy this go around to prepare. I go through my entire watch list. I went by sector. That actually I didn't go by sector first. I went through my entire watch list. I flagged the setups that I liked, and then I sorted by sector so that I could get an idea of where I'm at. I always like to diversify the bets. I feel like if I threw out 5 energy picks, I'm not being creative enough. I want to win. I want to win. So what I did, there was enough good setups in different sectors that I basically picked a different stock in every sector. And Mark's all about themes and narratives. And so sometimes I feel like the more you talk in explaining your pick, the more likely you are to win. One of these times I just want to be like, I'm going to say maybe 5 words when I give him the stock.
No, you will lose any game with Mark or Matt. If you don't have detail, you'll lose.
I know. It just okay. So my first one, this goes with crude oil, energy, rocking. Energy had a pullback, so I ran through the chart of crude oil with that little 2-bar dip with yesterday's reversal candle. I ran through XLE, which had a little 2-bar pullback and pop. And so APA was the bull retracement that I picked. There was actually quite a few. DVN was another one that had a nice little retracement. And Mark is fond of his girlfriend, as you would imagine. So I put the little 9 EMA right on there. And it's just perfect. It had a nice breakout with increasing momentum. The volume was good on the breakout. It had a nice little pullback on average volume, no major distribution. Buyers emerged at the 9 EMA as they have for the last month. Had a bullish reversal candle yesterday. So very simple, easy bull retracement pattern. Either buy stock because it's a cheap stock, or I also looked at a bull call spread that had a really good ROI. So that was the first one.
That is a very, very solid pick. I love the chart setup, and for a retracement, when you have the lighter volume coming into a doji on a moving averages, where there's an old pivot, that's a strong pick, Ty. Absolutely. Yep. So I can see why that one had the judge's favor there. What were the other ones?
All right. So the next one I mentioned, we have commodities booming, we have inflation pressures. So I was looking at the commodity space, and Alcoa yesterday had a really good pop. And that I used as kind of my poster child for that. They're coming after these mining stocks, these metal stocks. Alcoa moves with aluminum and that whole space. And so it caused me to relook at FCX. We brought this up earlier, but that pause in copper was constructive coming into this week. And so with FCX in particular, the pitch was this. I really like the shakeout that FCX had last week on Thursday. I was on the halftime report, and we actually talked about this. Not the shakeout, but just the fact that FCX was getting whacked. I liked the fact that it had a break of support and then came right back up. And it's just kind of been consolidating like copper ever since. And so we took a look at this last night, and I said, I think it's paused for long enough. Obviously I didn't know it was going to pop as much as it did today, but you could have put yourself in a position to at least anticipate some type of upward move. We were looking for a trigger over $35. I offered him either doing the 30 naked put, which had about a 25% return, or the 35-40 bull call spread. Obviously both are working today, but that was the second one.
Wonderful day to have FCX as your pick. Obviously, it did actually confirm breakout here today. We're up 7%. I mean, if you weren't catching this right at the open, or right on that trigger, though, do you think right now do you have to wait for something else, or do you think there's still something there as far as a daily entry?
If you look at its history, I mean, it's been forgiving if you had to chase one day after the break. So I don't care as much chasing on this one as I do on other stocks, just because of how strong it's been. I mean, if you want to hedge your bets, just do a partial position if you want some skin in the game. But look, it has not paid to fight this. I would not buy it now if I was going to, get freaked out if it pulls back below the 9. So I would only do it now if I was willing to give it some room.
I got you. Gotcha. All right. I'm loving these so far. I can see why, Mark also liked that pick as well. What else you got?
All right. So the next theme was GM has been riding the whole EV movement, electric vehicle movement. But unlike Tesla, NIO, Workhorse, some of those other degenerates in the EV space, this did not get beat up with everything else. So you got the tail end of the whole EV deal. Plus, it's been rebounding on economics. It's a cyclical stock. People buy more cars when the economy is doing well. So it's been riding those two themes, and it's held up well over the last couple of months. And I like the the weekly chart breakouts have been buys. This had a really good candle yesterday and was just testing the high. So was doing an upside breakout in this, and I looked at a 57.50, 62.50 bull call spread. I had a pretty good ROI. Didn't trigger today. Still like it though. So breakout over 57 and change.
Makes sense to me. Yeah, and they have been riding that new movement. Obviously, all the headlines we've covered on GM over the last year and a half to report, a lot of them are around EV or building new plants for battery production or whatever it is. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that was 3, I believe. What was number 4?
All right, so 4 was financials. The financial sector's been hot, as we know. It benefits from the whole rising rates. So tech's pain has been financials' gain. I looked at all the financial big boys, and JP Morgan had a nice little mini ascending triangle, or high base, if you want to call it that. Strong just has not closed below the 9 EMA this entire time, right? Well, the rest of the market's been getting torched. That tells me it's only a matter of time before it breaks out and goes higher. So just an easy breakout trade, bull call spread for me, 155, 160 for April, had a pretty good ROI.
Yeah, definitely a good setup there. And actually, you're not missing too much here today. Still kind of just hanging out right where you were looking at it last night. So then number 5 to round it out.
At this point, I'm like, I got this in the bag. Doesn't matter what I say, 5th round. So I threw out a tech pick, bear pick. So healthcare, XLV, XBI, biotech, technology, XLK. Those are the 3 sectors that look the ugliest. So I said, if you'd like to lose money, if you want to tempt with bear trades, CRM has got one of the best bear setups for a couple of reasons. Number 1, fundamentally, it's in the doghouse the last 2 quarters. Think about this. This is November 4th. The entire market awakens and shoots to the moon. CRM does jack. It's been riding the pine for 4 months. Hasn't done anything. Last 2 earnings announcement, it's got punched in the face. So they don't like where it's at fundamentally right now. From a technical perspective, it's below all the moving averages. It had increasing momentum on the last drop. Big distribution coming in. Broke some significant support levels. And if you look at it yesterday, which is when we did the Trade Masters, it's heavy. It's heavy. It's trying to rally, can't do it. Trying to rally, can't do it. Trying to rally, can't do it. Closed at the lows the last 3 trading sessions. Okay. So it's like, well, look, I mean, if I'm going to short something, this has a pretty good bear retracement right at a declining 9 EMA. If it breaks yesterday's low, I like the 210, 200 bear put. And as far as bear trades go, that's the type of bear trade I would take if I was going to do it. Nice thing is it didn't trigger today, so it's not like it would have got snookered in, but quite frankly, the same analysis applies today.